Alright, here's a word I really don't like. The word should. I think people use it just way too much. So let me see if I can explain. There are times when the word, like, when it's used correctly. When people are talking about the way things are, and they say, and then they talk about the way things should be, I think that's almost always a stupid usage of the word should. When you're talking about, you know, acting in the future, that's a little bit different. So here's what should means when you say like things should be this way. People should be less greedy, or shouldn't as well. You know, I shouldn't stay up so late. I shouldn't be this way. You know, when you're saying something should be a certain way, what you're saying is I want this to be this way, and it's not. But I'm ignoring the reasons why, and I'm just claiming that this should be the case. I think a more useful thing instead of saying something should be this way, to actually ask why it's not, and to be honest with yourself, and to say that the honest statement is, I want this to be this way, you know, and that's what you're saying. And I think should is trying to appeal to some higher level of morality that it's not honest. You're saying, you know, it's like trying to separate it from you, but it's not really separated from you. Should, when you're saying it, it's always something you want to take place, you want to be happening, and so why not be honest and say, I want this to happen, and then you ask yourself, why is this not happening? And I think that's a much more useful thing to ask. And to me, that's also like an economics type of view of the world. I think, and I love economics. I love economists because they're the people who ask, instead of saying, you know, oh, the world is unfair, the world is stupid, everybody's stupid. Instead of doing that, economists say, okay, they don't even say, like, this is what I want to happen. They just say, why is what's happening? And then they actually, like, come up with some solutions and figure some stuff out that's pretty cool and interesting. And so, you know, this applies not only to society as a whole, it applies to yourself too, and it applies to me, you know. Um, Part of the reason I have like this whole thing on my face is because I stay up way too late, and so I could always just be like, you know, I should just go to bed earlier. And if somebody else told me that, it's just so stupid. You know, I'd just look at them like, yeah, you know, good. Like it doesn't help anything to actually say that. The the honest way to say that is, I want to go to bed earlier because I want to be healthier, and why am I not going to bed earlier? You know, and I think it's useful. A lot of people treat themselves like they're in total control of their lives. And I know I did that video about, you know, radical responsibility. But there's this aspect of you don't have direct control. It's like you can't just like pull the levers and just say, you know, this is what I want to do. Bam, 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 bam. It's like it's something you have to map out and figure out. To me, it's like you're kind of like your own pet, and you don't always do the things that you want to do, and that's pretty obvious if you examine yourself. And so to me, you should treat yourself very similarly to the way that you treat other people, and treat yourself as if you're another person. Because I mean, in a weird way, you kind of are. Future you is different from present you, and I think I talked about this in another video. But and this is I think the principle laid out by Jordan Peterson in I think Rule 2 of 12 Rules for Life. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. But the whole point I'm trying to make here is that you don't just have total control. And a lot of people will deny that, but they're being dishonest. You don't just get to decide, I want to be happy today. I want to, be all these things. I want to exercise every single day. I want to make a video every single day. I put myself through a really intense schedule, and found out I absolutely hated it. It was too intense. It was too much. And I had to figure out that's something my body and just me, I couldn't handle that at that level. Maybe I can, but it was just, or maybe I didn't have the right things. But it's not just, you don't have just direct control. You have to feed it the right incentives, and that's what I was talking about in my video. I think it was my video yesterday, or the one about systems. You have to feed things the right incentives. It's not direct control. And so, yeah, the schedule I was trying to do, let's see if I can remember, I was trying to wake up, I think I was waking at something ridiculous, like 4, maybe it was just 5, and then exercising every morning, and then taking a cold shower, and then I was trying to work on language and doing that for half an hour. I had my entire morning all the way booked, and I was just exhausted, and I didn't feel better, and that's probably got to be the marker of whether you're helping yourself or doing worse, is if you actually feel good about the day. I just felt awful and tired, and so I had to realize that. It's probably good that I tried to do that. I realized my limitations. I had to realize that I had to set my goals lower, and it's a humbling experience. But and I realized that I wasn't in entire control of myself. I couldn't just make myself do everything that I wanted myself to. I had to realize that I had to cooperate with myself in the same way that I would cooperate with somebody else. And it taught me things about cooperating with other people too. And so, yeah, should is different from is. And is the more important thing to look at than should. And there's a case for should. We don't go anywhere unless we're dissatisfied by the place we're at, and then we have, and then we act. Oh, Canadian Pierce home. And then we act to change where we're at. So there's a place for that, for should, and for looking where you want to be, but admit that it's the place where you want to be, and don't try to appeal to the higher authority of should. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.